Yes, sir. What's the deal, everybody? It's your boy iMac here, reporting live from MarcoPolo Bar and Grill over here in Seattle, baby. Yes, sir. The Leisure Time Podcast takeover, man. We lit. TJ behind the camera. Let's get it. Yes, sir. What's the deal, everybody? And welcome to a very special episode of the Leisure Time Podcast with your boy iMac. You already know the deal. Yes, we are reporting live here at MarcoPolo's Bar and Grill right here in Seattle, guys. We got a lot of special guests, right, from Jed Collins to Luke Falk to Nick Begg, Jamal Morrow, and a whole bunch of cats. But we're going to start off with the owner of MarcoPolo Bar and Grill, and that's my man, Matt. Matt, how you doing today?
Good, man. Thank you for having me on. It's great to be here. Go Cougs.
Oh, go freaking Cougs, man. So, Matt, so CougCollective, right? I seen that you and CougCollective is putting on this watch party event, right? When did you and CougCollective start connecting and trying to forge ahead on this, like West Coug Seattle, right? Kind of just trying to get more Coug awareness in West Seattle through your bar and grill and just through the CougCollective.
I think it started back with we were at the Cougs' first trade show. We had Jed Collins and Robbie Tobeck there. They had set up their table and they were just trying to get the word out there. And we were big supporters of Cougs First when it first started.
Yeah, absolutely.
We jumped in. We said, hey, this is something we got to do. We got to support Cougar-owned businesses. It turns out it will support the university, which supports the kids. It's like this circle that we got to go through. And so CougCollective was just another piece to that puzzle.
Yeah.
And so when they came out and said, hey, we're looking to do this thing to support athletes, I'm like, we're in. Let's do it. So we signed up from day one. We continue to be involved on a monthly basis, and our goal is to increase our involvement and just help this collective grow and help us compete within the Pac-12.
And, you know, it's such a cool thing, right? Because, like, obviously the whole NIL now, right, the transfer portal, it's important for us to have a collective. It's important for us to support Cougs now more than ever in the college football world, right? Because, as you can see already, we have a lot of guys entering the transfer portal. Even some coaches already left, right?
Absolutely.
So, you know, hate to say it, but it's the reality of the world. Money make the world go round, right? So to be able to earn that money, right, in a safe way, too, doing the 1890 Club with CougCollective, right, a little safe $20 payment per month that could make a huge impact to some wins and losses. So, Matt, obviously, you know the news this week, heartbreaking loss we had this week with Coach Leach passing. I was wondering if you had any stories or memories about Coach Leach at all.
You know, Coach Leach is one of those guys, if you have the pleasure and opportunity to meet him, he makes an impact right off the bat.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, the Night with Cougar Football Athletics events for the last couple of years, we had an opportunity of, you know, having dinner with him, and the conversations are just, you know, fantastic. One of my favorite memories of him was he'd remember me from the year before, and he's like, we need to talk about your chicken. He's like, all I hear about is your fried chicken. So we had about a 15, 20-minute conversation about just, you know, Mike and how much he loves fried chicken. And
absolutely.
The guy's a character. He definitely had an impact on WSU Cougar football and all of college football, for that matter, and he's definitely going to be missed, but it's been great to kind of read and hear some of these stories that people are sharing. Definitely heartbreaking. Our thoughts and prayers go out to his family and, you know, all of the people he touched.
Man. I'll tell you one thing. He wasn't lying about that fried chicken, guys. That fried chicken is amazing, and I cannot wait. When this broadcast is over, trust me and my boy TJ behind the camera, man, we're going to enjoy some of that fried chicken. So, Matt, what made you, was MarcoPolo part of the family already, or did you start MarcoPolo? Like tell us the story of MarcoPolo.
Okay, so MarcoPolo started back in 1950. It was not part of our family.
Okay.
There's been about four sets of owners that have owned this bar. It's 73 years old. George Lemora started it in 1950.
Yep.
And then over the years, it's kind of changed hands. Me and my ownership group back in the day bought it back in 2006. So
absolutely.
We've had it, you know, about 16, 17 years now. Now I'm the sole owner of it, and when we took it over, our intention was not to make it a Coug bar. It was just to take over this awesome historic tavern that's been here for 70 plus years. And then over the years, actually as Cougs first started right about that same time, we realized there was a demand for a place for Cougs to go. And so we wanted to make this a place where if you're not going to be in Pullman, you are going to be here at the MarcoPolo. So if you're not at the bowl game today or you're not in Pullman, you know, we want you here. We want you rooting on the Cougs, and we wanted to create a place that makes you feel, you know, where you can hang out with all your Cougs and cheer on the Crimson and Gray.
Man, and you know what? That's absolutely great, right? Because let's be real. sometimes driving in 5 hours, 6 hours to get to them Pullman games can be taxing, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So to have that environment, right, guys, to be in that environment where, like, you know, yeah, you may not be in Pullman or in the Palouse, but you could be still in Seattle, come here on the game day, enjoy a bite to eat, right, enjoy some drinks with some fellow Cougs, right? It's all about the fellowship, right? I feel like Coug Nation is a big fellowship in a sense, right? And it's like we got to support each other, and also we got to have fun with each other. And there's no better way to watch WSU football than with other WSU football fans, you know? So I think that's awesome. So favorite Coug memory before I get you out of here. What's one of your favorite Coug memories as a student probably or as a fan? Like, what's your favorite Coug
Man, I'm saying there's so many great times I had in Poland. But I have to say one of the best still that just comes to memory is game day.
Yeah.
I mean, it was something that we were invested in wanting there for so long, 15 years.
Absolutely.
And I remember, like, getting that notice, like, hey, game day's coming. I was like, we're on our way.
Yeah.
We loaded up the car and we rented a house that had no furniture, no water, no electricity, but we got up to Pullman and watched probably one of the greatest Cougar football games and one of the greatest college football settings ever. So I'd have to say game day.
Game day. I agree. Matt, appreciate you, brother.
Hey, absolutely. Thanks for coming down. We appreciate you guys, and go Cougs.
No problem. Go Cougs, baby. There you go, man. That was Matt right there, right? We got another guest coming on real soon. We're going to take a short, quick 30-second intermission just to make sure that we got our guest in line, guys. Do you have it right there? The Leisure Time Podcast, our LA Bowl pregame show. Don't go nowhere, man. We turned up today now. We got some special guests. Don't go nowhere. We'll be back. Yes, sir. We are back here, man. Had a little technical difficulties, but we're back in person. And we got two special guests, my brother Colton Teglovic and my other brother Gunnar Ekland. How you doing today, brothers?
Doing good. We're doing good. We've been listening. I've been listening to the pod as we doing better now that we're on the leisure.
The Leisure Time Podcast. Yes, sir. So, guys, man, I'll start with you, Colton, man. So, Colt, man, when you heard the news this week of our coach passing away, man, what's some of the kind of thoughts and emotion that ran through you, knowing that somebody that you know helped build us to be better men passing away like that?
You know, obviously it was shocking and really sad. You know, it kind of brought me back to really thinking about all the WSU memories, and you know, there was a lot of sadness there, but it was also there was some great memories that I started thinking and texting the guys and started telling stories, and so. You know, there was definitely some happy thoughts too of some of these memories.
Absolutely.
But also just, you know, really reflecting and appreciating a lot of the values that Leach kind of instilled in us. You know, he coached us really hard.
Man,
right? He coached us. I mean, everybody who played for him will tell you the same thing. You know, he coached you hard, but I think later in life, you can almost appreciate it more now. Right?
Absolutely.
You know, like at the time when you're, you know, when he's grilling us and some of these post-game speeches, even after a win. But, you know, you can take that on whatever you're doing, whether it's football or business or, you know, anything.
I'm with you on that one, man. And it's like, you know, it's so random when you just go through your everyday life and all of a sudden something like this happened and you start thinking about those moments, right? Those times where it's like, damn, you know, it was some adverse times we went through. The week would have folded. I remember when I first got there, Gunnar and all the boys tried to jump me in the weight room, dude. When I first got there in 2013.
Is that when you were crying?
Man, hey, man, these guys was some. And that was so funny though, man. But times like that, you remember, like, damn, like I was soft, and like I needed that kind of pressure, kind of that tenacity, that kind of coaching style to toughen me as not just a football player, but as a man too, right? You know, a lot of people think that the physical test your toughness, like being able to knock somebody out, stuff like that. But honestly, I feel like how well you handle adverse moments kind of staples you as what kind of man you are, right? So, Gunnar, I'm going to come to you next, bro. So, obviously, you got there when Leach first got there, bro. Yep. So, how was that 2012? I mean, not 2012. No, yeah. How was that 2012 spring ball, summer ball, fall camp? That whole year when he first got there, like what's some of the changes he instantly made? How was his demeanor? Like, just tell us about that time period.
Well, you know, like personally, you know, I got there, was a walk-on with the Wolf staff.
Yep.
And, you know, I was a walk-on, and I didn't get any reps, didn't get any looks, and, you know, they didn't really even know my name, you know. And so Leach came in January, and I remember he walked in the meeting room and was like, hey, I don't care if you're an All-American or a 4-star recruit, a 3-star recruit, or a walk-on this spring. We're playing football, and the best man wins. So for me, you know, it was a blessing. You know, he gave me an opportunity, and that's all. You know, I mean, it kind of like Tag said a little bit about, and like you were saying in life and stuff. You know, Leach he taught and coached a certain way, and he brought it, and you know, and he almost, you know, he was doing things that, looking back on it with perspective now, was a lot bigger picture than when we were going through it. And we're like, man, we don't like Leach. We're pissing us off, man. But he brought us together, and he also taught us, you know, that all the good things in life, you know, you work for them, you work hard for them. And so when he got there, it was for me personally, it was like, all right, this is go time.
Absolutely.
You know, and also, I mean, I come from Lake Stevens, and you know, it's getting bigger and bigger. But
shout out Lake Stevens Vikings. They did win the state championship this year. Throwing that out there.
Trying to get Ivan on the coaching staff here.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so we, you know, I came from I had one losing season my whole life. It was in second grade.
I know, that's wild.
That's it, right? And then we got there, and so we had a culture that was it was off. You know, and Leach came in, and he came in a winner and showed us how to win and showed us how to compete.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I dug it. You know, there was times we hated it. You know, we all talked about it, man. We were all like, man, this guy's crazy. You know, but he had a method. It was pretty cool. So,
definitely, man. I agree with you, Gunnar, man. Like, you know, obviously, I didn't enjoy that much winning in my football life prior to Washington State like you did with Lake Stevens, though. But like, I think that, you know, being able to be in a culture, right, when seeing a culture like Lake Stevens, you know what it takes to win, right? So when you go to college and you don't see those things, when you think that, man, I'm finally D1, you should see those things, and you don't see it. Yeah. And Leach bringing those kind of things in is a cool thing, right? So, Teg, I'm going back to you, man. So you actually earned a scholarship at Washington State, right? As coach, as your main head coach. So tell me about, like, your any memory or any story you have to share about Coach, right? Because obviously you earning a scholarship, right? He must have liked you a lot, right? You had some kind of relationship. So tell me about that.
I'll tell you, it's kind of a story about how I got to meet my first kind of experience with Coach Leach. So being a walk-on, I was a junior college transfer. Was, you know, kind of an invited walk-on. We were actually Coach Russell at the time as a special teams coach. And so I get to WSU, we're getting my paperwork, you know, the compliance stuff filled out. It took about a week, so I got stuck up in the processing, so I couldn't practice yet. And the Seahawks win the Super Bowl on Sunday. I walk into Coach Huffman's office on Monday to ask her what's going on with my paperwork, and he goes, "Oh, we just got it. You're cleared. You have a workout in 5 minutes with Coach Lascalzo." So then I worked out Coach Lascalzo, and they tell me about something called midnight maneuvers. So my first day, we got a maneuver that night, so it's the first one. I have no idea what's going on. I go to the bubble. They put me through, all of us, through this just insane workout. We're running around. Coach Leach is playing crazy music at the same time. Right? Circus music. And I've been on the team for 4 hours. Right? You know, the workout starts at 10 o'clock. I don't know really anybody. I know a couple of guys from high school. Peyton Bender's there. I'm in Bo Glover and Tyler Baker's group, and they're absolutely savages.
Oh yeah,
right?
man, those are two guys you don't want to be next to him when I'm in Baker and Glover. Oh yeah.
So I get through the whole workout, and you know, I haven't died yet, but you know, we're in the huddle, and Leach is going down the list of, you know, if you got a black, a gray, a pink, right? And he gets to my name, and he looks at it, and Teglovic's not the easiest name, and he goes, Teglovic. And I'm just like, oh man, he can't even say my name. So, you know, fast forward, we do this for another 4 days in a row. And throughout those next 4 days, he called me Teglovic, Turg, Tech. I mean, he didn't say my name right one time for the first 4 days. I'm like, man, we're down bad, right? Like, they can't even say my name. He's giving me pinks. But, you know, throughout that process, I ended up getting gray, then black. You ended up being able to pronounce my name. And that's kind of what all started. It started just working
Man, that's
hard.
better than you. That's better than you, man, because I got like 5 straight pinks my first midnight maneuver, bro. It was so horrible, bro. Man, so Gunnar now. I'm going back to Gunnar now, man. So Gunnar, do you have any interesting stories or memory you can tell about Leach, man? Because being an O-lineman, Leach had an interesting relationship with the O-line for sure, right?
Man, he brought it to us pretty good, you know. And he also took care of us.
He did.
He would praise us, and then he would, you know, I mean, he would put us out. I remember one day I had probably the best game I had, and we had thought we had played well. The O-line did well, and we had won. And then we had to do a team meeting, right? And Leach for team meetings, they started usually at 4:30 on a Sunday, if I'm not wrong. And Leach would show up about 5:15, and then he'd talk for probably an hour and a half about nothing, like anything other than football, right? And so he got going, but then, you know, here we are sitting pretty good. We got to win. You know, and we're going, and he's like, all right, we're going to watch film as a team, you know. And I'm like, oh, cool, you know, he's going to show, I played pretty good, you know, maybe he'll show a nice couple blocks or whatever. Like the third play, he gets up there and puts his deal on me and Ekland, and his voice, and he's got his spit cup with him, and he's sitting there. I'm like, oh, here we go. And I go, oh, no, I remember this play. I messed up on this play. When he goes, geez, Louise, he goes, what are you doing here? And he's like, what is going on? And what he was doing, though, is he was showing us, okay, we played okay, and we won, but we didn't play near as good as we thought we played. It was pretty cool. And so that was like, I remember he was not afraid to single us out on that kind of stuff. But then I remember with Leach, I have a story where junior year, I was kind of, I was playing okay, but I was struggling a little bit, and like he could tell. And he brought me up into his office, and I'm like, oh man, I don't know what this is going to be like. We'll see how this goes. Bringing an offensive lineman up into the office, but man, it was cool because for like 2 hours. He was talking to me about life and just pushing through, and then he thought it'd be a good idea to bring me out in the hallway and show me how to pass pro, and Mike Leach, wasn't the most athletic guy, but we were doing one-on-ones in the hallway with Leach, and like I didn't know if I was supposed to really get him or I don't know how he wanted me to do it. I'm still my coach, So. But I mean, I don't know. Everything he did, and looking back on the perspective's a big thing, and so he had his method to do things. But I just know he wasn't afraid to say it how he thought it was.
Absolutely.
And no matter what, even if we thought something was, he was going to tell you how he thought about it, good and bad, and I think you can carry that with you forever.
Absolutely.
And, and he brought us together as a team, but I thought that was, doing one-on-ones with Leach up in the hallway in the master office was pretty fun.
Man,
Never heard that
a
one.
moment in Washington, like my time that I always remember, guys, is just that whole 2015 season, man. Like, we had a crappy year in 2014 going 3-9, right? We get Grinch in there, right? We get all the boys back, right? And, like, I think that senior class, we all made a, not like we never got together and said it, but like just by our actions, we made a decision to like kind of change the program. And I don't know if y'all remember, but we had the most fun in that fall being at his house, G-Post. It's not there no more. Hey, long live G-Post too, man. But like I can just remember after every win, us all being at G-Post, being together, right, drinking and just having those kind of brotherhood moments. And at that moment, that I realized that's what Leach wanted from us, right? Like he's gonna be the dictator kind. He's gonna be a hard ass all the time. But at the end of the day, what it is just building us a stronger brotherhood, right? Like literally, man, you have Tag, me, and freaking Frankie Luther or something like drinking a beer at G-Post. Like really brought everybody together because I think that we all had to face adversity together, man. So, there you have it, man. My two brothers right here, man, Colton Teglovic and Gunnar Ekland, man. I really appreciate y'all coming on, man.
Really
all right, then, guys. We're taking an intermission. We're rolling now. Hey, man, I'm on fire, man. I feel like the Hot Boys or something. I'm on fire, man. I got two super, super special guys coming on right now. Of course, we got Luke Falk. I just popped up on him. And we got Nick Begg. I just popped up on him. Yes, sir! Yes, sir! My guys, man. Luke, Nick, what's up, bros? How y'all doing? Y'all hear me?
Good, man.
Where y'all at, man? Y'all better stop talking now. I'm letting y'all know right now. I'm a fanboy right now. I'm about to get y'all on my Instagram live. What's up, bros? Nick, how you doing, man? I'll start off with Nick.
Baby, I'm doing good.
You doing good, bro? How about you?
How are you?
I mean, I'm good, man. You know me, man, just trying to build up this podcast thing. You know me as far as occupation-wise, teaching, coaching, trying to get back to that youth, you know what I'm saying? But I'm good, man. Luke, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. Hey, you're taking one out of Cougs reads the book, right? 20 minutes late is on time.
Hey, man. Hey, Luke, man, I knew that you was I knew that you was going to get on me because of that, brother. Look, so first off, right, I blame Matt for MarcoPolo. No, I'm just playing, Matt. I'm just playing. I don't blame him. We just ran a little bit late, man. I got a camera crew going right now, man. We got a lot of professional stuff going on right now, man. This is the first time I'm doing a live in-bar podcast, so you know how that goes, man. We had to get some technical difficulties, straighten out. But you know what I'm saying, bro, I'm just super happy that y'all got me on, man. So first and foremost, I heard from the grapevine that y'all started a podcast, right? So Nick or Luke, man, one of y'all, man, tell us about the pod a little bit. What's the name of it? What y'all got going with it? What's the deal with that?
Nick, why don't you hit that one?
Yeah, so it's called Lessons from the Legends. And essentially we're just
Oh my God, Luke, it's on you now.
Take over.
Sorry about that.
Oh, there you go.
Called Lessons from the Legends. We're gonna get it public early next year.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, just giving tips to kids that we wish we knew when we were playing.
Yeah.
So just taking advice from legends like you and Lou, and giving it to kids so they can apply it to their game on and off the field.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm gonna keep it on you, Nick. Right. So obviously, you know that you originally started at Arizona State University, then you transferred to WSU. So, like, can you tell us, like, what made you ultimately come to WSU, and then how did Leach influence that decision? Because obviously, I know your boy River was there. Obviously, you and him go way back. Y'all really brothers. Obviously, him being there, that had a factor. But how did Leach factor into you coming to WSU?
Yeah, so I actually took a visit up here for River's birthday. It was the ASU Wazoo game.
Yep.
And I got to meet the team, see the culture, see what you guys were building, and I really just fell in love with it.
Mm-hmm.
Met with McGuire. He had showed my tape to Leach, and I went back to ASU, and I got a call from Leach the next Monday. And he offered me a scholarship, and it was history from there.
History from there, baby. History from there, man. Was a part of a lot of winning. So now, Luke, I'm going to move it to you, bro. So I think that I could truly say you're the only quarterback from his regime that had him for a solid 5 years, right? I mean, Connor had him for like 2 to 3. Luke had him for 5. You know, Gardner had him for like 1. Gordo had him for like 2 or 3, right? You were the only one that, in a sense, grew up with Mike Leach, right? So I was just wondering, how much did Leach, you know, impact your quarterback development overall, right, bro? Because obviously you're a kid from Utah, a lot of passing records down there, right? You know I got to gas you up. Luke don't like things like that. Luke don't like being gassed up, guys, but I got to gas him up a little bit, right? So obviously, you know, you could have went to another college, but you came to walk on at WSU. So, you know, what's some of the things you learned from Leach, and how did he influence you, just your development?
Yeah. Well, first, I didn't tell him nearly enough how much he meant to me, and I owe him everything. Counter to what you just said, I didn't have many options, right?
No.
He was the kind of guy that gave me an opportunity to play power football as a walk-on, and he said that he'd give me every opportunity. He was a scholarship guy with Brugman at the time, and he was true to his word. And
Brugman!
Anyways, but you know, I owe Leach everything. He allowed me to be. He cultivated an environment where I could learn and develop and really kind of take ownership of the offense. And like I told him, I loved him, and we definitely worked with each other for 5 years. We had some bumps in the road at times, but one thing I always about Leach is that he was super honest with me, and always knew where he stood. And there's a lot of sad people in college football, especially me. I think the biggest thing is I feel like I never told Coach how much he meant to me and how much I appreciated him and how much I loved him.
Yeah, man. And you know what, Luke? That's always I felt the same, right? But then I took a step back, and through our grieving right over the last couple of days, like little moments I felt happened, or little pictures I seen, or videos I seen, and it kind of made me feel that that's Leach talking to me, right? And I know you probably felt that too, like probably seen a clip or something like, oh man, like, you know, kind of touched your heart, man. And I think that he knew. Right, he knew how much, you know, you cared about him, and vice versa, right, and the kind of player that he helped you become, man. So, you know, that's something that I want you to hold your head up high, because I know for sure that man thought highly of you. So, Nick, I'm coming to you, man. So, do you got any cool stories or memories about Coach?
Yeah. One of my favorite stories, and it just shows what type of competitor Leach was. Mm-hmm. We were playing Oregon State in 2016 at Reeser, and we were down 24-7. It was 2016. Leach comes in at halftime and basically tells us, if we don't figure it out and win this game, we're going to do a full padded scrimmage the next day. And it just shows you, like, that's just Leach. Like, they're going to do anything.
I'll say
make sure we're going to win that game.
Before he came in and just talked to the team, I went into the coach's locker room thinking he was going to rip my ass. And I went in there. On Rosetta Stone practicing Spanish at halftime, and we're down 24-7. So anyways, he's like, no, blah, yeah, whatever. Nothing easier. Go out there and kick their ass. And then, as Nick said, we went out and addressed the team and put the fear of God in us as a team. So anyways, we came back, won the game. Fortunately, and we didn't have the scrimmage.
Y'all something else, man.
Can't even make it up.
Hey, Luke, I seen a story of you saying that this week about the Rosetta Stone. I was like, that is such a Leach thing, man. I remember one time when I came back from 2017 when I was in Montreal, I came back, and like he actually showed me the Duolingo, the Rosetta Stone app on his phone. He's like, yeah, if you're in French, Ivan, you should just, you can learn French. I try to learn Spanish all the time. And that's around the time this bowl game was happening, right? So I know exactly, that's where my mind went exactly when it came to that.
I'll say this, too. People don't realize Coach Leach was a big Snapchat. He might not have done a lot of Snapchat, but boy, he was always on Snapchat. Our boy Nick here, he's been known to get Coach Leach Snapchat after a victory or something. And I remember when they played LSU for his first game down there, Nick was hitting him up, and he was loving it.
I bet so. So, Luke, man, I know y'all got to get going. So I'm going to move it on. Hey, Luke, so how was the meeting room with Leach, man? So did he often go off topic? How did he talk to you? If you did a bad read or something like that, made a bad play or something, how did he talk to you? Like, just take us inside the Washington State quarterback meeting.
70% non-football, 30% football. He had no problem telling me when I was wrong with some things. After I threw my infamous 5-pick game against Cal, the whole team meeting, he's like, you gotta be the slowest quarterback in the entire nation for the whole team. Just showing like stack after stack after stack. And then he was famous too, like, if I missed a read, go. You probably throw to this guy. He pointed to the guy that's open, and he'd be like, hey, Jamal, if you were quarterback, who would you throw to? This guy that looked good too, would you throw to this guy out here? And Jamal, of course, like, Coach, I'd throw to the post right there. So, all right, Coach, go Jamal. So, anyways, Coach probably do it in a fun way, but definitely whatever he discussed at the podium that day, that was always our topic of discussion in the quarterback room.
Hey, man, that is so cool. That's one thing as a player I always imagine, like, because if you play, like, let's be real, Leach for the most part makes his position coach, right? Like, for instance, when I'm with Manning or with Valero, right, it's like I'm really only being coached by them. Like, Leach doesn't come into the outside linebacker room or the D-line room and try to coach, right? So I always just thought, like, dang, quarterbacks, you always got to be with Leach. Like, during team period, like, you're with Leach. During calling plays, you're a Leach. Quarterback, you're a Leach. So I always wondered how that dynamic and how interesting that meeting room was. So for both of you right here, this is the last question. I'll get y'all out of here, guys. What is something that Leach taught, coached, or instilled in you that you'll always keep within you, right? It's like one of those things, like either he coached you or taught you or instilled in you that forever was going to be ingrained in your psyche.
Yeah, I got a few in my mind. The first one is keep things simple. He was a great mentor for me, and less is more. That whole thing. I used to overcomplicate things, and he would say, "Hey, let's simplify." Then Ivan, you know this one. Hey, respect everyone, fear no one. I love it. Right? We're gonna have respect for everyone that we face, everything we do. We're not gonna fear anybody. And the last one is just the honesty. Right? I think. He was so authentic to who he was. He was a true maverick. He wasn't trying to please anybody. It's always a great reminder, just true to yourself. So those are three things I really take out of Coach.
Man, I love those, Luke. How about you, Nick?
Yeah, for me, a lot is going to be familiar to you, Ivan, but he was never afraid to go against the grain and be different, and I definitely took that to heart. There was no one else that was truly themselves like Leach was. The two main takeaways, though, play the next play. In essence, don't think about the past or the last play. Don't look forward to the future. Just be where your feet are and focus on what's ahead of you. The second one is you're either coaching it or allowing it to happen. And that really didn't apply to me as a young player, but as I became a leader and more responsibility was on my shoulders, I really took that to heart, and I had more ownership in respect to that.
Man, and you know what, guys? And all those things are so great, right? And I think that some of the terminology and his kind of Leach-isms is the ones that just stick out to me the most. Like, I apply in my life. Like, every day when I go to work, I try to be the most excited to, like, play in a sense, right? I got to – because what's the point of going to work in a down mood, right? Because now your whole day is going to be down. So be the most excited at your workplace, right? Respecting everyone, fearing no one, right? Not saying that you got to walk around with your chest all out and make it seem like you're macho man, right? But at the same time, right, respecting everyone, showing respect, and through that respect, they're going to give you back that respect, right? And of course, play the next play and things of that nature, right? Guy, doing your job. So I really appreciate those things. Last thing, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Luke.
Now that you're in the coaching world, you apply midnight maneuvers. You do that in high school?
Oh man, hey man, I may have some big news as far as a head coaching or DC position, but once I get more as far as like my program, oh trust me, we're not going to be midnight maneuvers. They're going to be more like midnight, like not even midnight, more like afternoon delights or something like that, or afternoon. You know, you can't have them kids. Leach was crazy, man. He had us in that bubble at 10 o'clock p.m. on the dot, ready to go do the maneuvers. I don't think I could do that to high school because out here in Washington, the WIAA might come arrest me.
Hey, are you going to
100%?
Are you going to have them stand up? Every stand up in the team meeting. I don't know shit. Remember that game?
Yes, I do. I do remember that game, man. The thing I remember the most is, man, I remember so Stanford game, my senior year, we lose by like 2 points, man. We missed the field goal. Shout out EP though, that's still my boy. But goddamn it, EP, you're supposed to make that goddamn field goal. But that's besides the point. Other than that, you remember? So we go in the locker room. He's pissed. He's over there saying like, you know what, no, I'm not happy. It's not okay to almost win. And if you think you're going to be on the hill with your fat little fucking girlfriends and all these things, he was just going ham. He was like, if I see anybody on that hill, I'm taking away your scholarship. So you know what I did? I put on a mask and I still went to Mike's. I put on a mask, went to Mike's.
Fat little girlfriend.
Man, that's just his go-to. He has something against fat little girlfriends. I think he honestly had a fat little girlfriend growing up. That's the thing. That's what Leach, you ain't slick, coach. You ain't slick. You probably had one. All right, so guys, man, once again, man, I got to get y'all back on the pod, man, do some individual interviews, right, man? I really love y'all boys. 100%. Appreciate you boys. And I think that, you know, obviously we are super busy in our lives and we do things, but I think once a year or twice a year, we need to start organizing some things to get the fellas back together, man, because at the end of the day, you know, you never know what nobody's going through or anybody's going through, and just to, you know that you have guys that support you. You know, that's a part of your family, extended family. I think that's awesome, man. So
shout out Darius. I'm seeing he's in the.
Oh yeah, you see Darius. Yeah, Darius is next, man. I got Darius next, man. Darius coming up next. Pulled off the Texas Nina 9 toes. I'm gonna holla at y'all boys. All right, Luke. All right, Nick.
All right, see you guys.
Next up, we're going. AD, we going. We ain't stopping. Hold on now. Let me get him on my gram now. I can't have a boy. I can't have a boy on here without getting him on the gram real quick. Hey, so let me do my. Yes, sir. Hey, man. So, let me do my intro for you, bro, because I got a good one. So now we got my other brother joining the show. A guy that's from Port Arthur, Texas, and had a profound relationship with Coach Leach. Injuries slowed my brother down, but I guarantee you, if those injuries didn't occur, he would definitely be in the NFL. He is someone I call a brother. We call him Nina, but for y'all know him as Washington State safety Darius Lemora. Nina, how you doing, my brother?
Hey man. It's good, bro.
Darius, bro. You just said that you talked to Leach 2 weeks prior to his death, man. So can you give us any insight on some of the things like, you know, life lessons he taught you, things y'all talked about, right, and things of that nature?
Yeah, I mean, when I had a conversation with him, the one thing I told him, the one thing I always tell him is I thank him for his coaching style, his tough coaching style, holding us accountable to our actions and what we think that we're doing bad or good, and just doing your job. It helped me a lot on who I am today as a better man, a better father, a better partner, you know. So I just took those to heart. And the last thing he told me was that he thinks about me all the time and he's very proud of me. I'm one of the best kids he ever had a chance to coach and all those things. And that really made me feel some type of way, man, you know. And then after I told him, like, yes, sir, thank you, man. Hey, I'm just happy that I was able to be coached by you. He was like, hey, come down here sometime. And that was just 2 weeks ago. I was like, okay, sure, I might have to make something happen. All right, cool.
Hey, man, that's so dope to hear, man, because, you know, sometimes you don't understand those profound relationships, and you never know what kind of people who have a relationship with somebody, right? You would never think that you and Leach, people may never think that you and Leach were that close and had that kind of relationship, so that's super cool to hear, right? Thanks, Danina, man. I appreciate you hopping on the show, bro. I appreciate you, brother.
All right, for sure, man.
Yes, sir. You can hear me, bro?
I'm back. What's good, dude?
What's good, baby? We out here. Hold on. All right, we about to start up. All right, so you got to let me do my little spill.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. And now, this is hey, no, hold on. I got to get this live too. Hold on. This is rare. You can't just have PV on here and I think that this ain't gonna be live.
Hey, it's an honor to be on the #1 podcast in the world. I don't know.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, you got the shirt on. Yes, sir. All right, yes, sir. All right, then. So, now, this is a super rare sighting we are about to have, right? Or we have right now. This guy was an absolute staple within our locker room at Wazoo, a person that everybody on the team can relate to and talk to. The second most interesting man in Pullman behind Leach, when I was at Wazoo at least, former WSU and Kansas quarterback, my brother Peyton Bender. How are you doing, bro?
Dude, I'm good, man. I'm just out here in Atlanta, just trying to figure it out. Just, you know, doing what we got to do. I'm good.
Hey, man, same thing out here trying to figure it out, bro. You know how it is, man. But at the end of the day, we're figuring it out, right? So that's the blessing, man. So obviously, bro, man, heavy week this week, man. Our guy, Coach Leach, passed away, man. So when you heard the news, man, what were some of your first thoughts and emotions that went through?
Yeah, dude. Obviously, super sad situation. Hearing about Coach Leach and everything. First heard the news on Sunday night, I guess, you know, whenever he got hospitalized. Had the media circling around, had some of the reports coming out, and actually had, you know, I'll give him the PG name for the podcast. Had his old friend Guzzler reach out to me.
Oh, hey, Guzzy!
You know. Yep. But, yeah, man, just super sad to see. You know, obviously, spent a lot of time with Leach in my time at Washington State. Now with the quarterback for 2 years. Yeah, it was an incredible experience.
Absolutely. So, bro, being from Florida, right? How was the recruiting process with Coach trying to get you to Pullman, right? Because I can imagine, like, literally where you're at, like Wazoo's here and you're like here. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, how the heck they influenced you to get to Washington State?
Yeah, you know, that's right. It's about the furthest place I could have gone to out of high school.
That's what I'm saying.
So, you know, honestly, the recruiting process, you know, when Washington State was showing interest, Leach was actually the first one to offer me a scholarship. So, you know, I'm forever grateful for that. He was the first one to give me my opportunity. And it really wasn't too hard of a decision. You know, as a quarterback being recruited, you want to go to an offense and a scheme where you're throwing the ball around, you know, as much as you can.
Absolutely.
And so, just whenever they started recruiting me, I went out to visit. They offered me the scholarship, and as a quarterback, I thought it was kind of a no-brainer. You know, go play in Power 5 program, go throw the ball around more than anybody else in the country. And I committed shortly after, just a few days after. Didn't have any other offers at the time. Was a junior in high school, but just felt like it was right, and, you know, really vibed with the coaching staff. That would be just a good opportunity to go out there and rock around.
Heck yeah, for real, bro. So you and Leach had a great relationship. I was wondering if you could share any QB room stories or any memories you got in general about the old Pirates.
Man, dude, you know, I'm not a great storyteller, but, you know, I always like to say, you know, anybody that, you know, talk to and I tell them that, you know, I play for Leach, they're always wanting to know stories, what was he like, you know, just different things. He's such a unique person. And I always tell people, you know, whatever you saw in the media, you know, the guy doing interviews after games and the guy doing the press conferences, dude, that's the exact way he ran his quarterback.
Facts.
And so for like 2 years, you know, we'd be in the QB room, and that's exactly what we got. And shoot, dude, there'd be some meetings we'd be in there for 2.5 hours, and we wouldn't even talk football. We'd be in there, you know, we ask him who to throw to. We'd be like, hey, Coach Leach, who do I need to throw to on this play? And we'd be like, just throw to him, he's open. And we talking about like native animals to Australia or something. you never knew what you were going to get.
Yeah.
It was a unique experience. But, yeah, man, I mean, what you see in the media, like that authentic guy, he was true to himself, at all times, wasn't a facade or anything like that. That's how he was. That's how he ran his quarterback room. So it's a super awesome experience.
That's so dope. Hey, for real, man. So last question, bro, before we get you out of here, I wanted to talk about some air raid, so, bro, what makes the air raid such a tough offense to stop or even learn? What makes the air raid so unique?
Yeah, well, I think, at the heart of the scheme, essentially what Leach was trying to do and what he created is the air raid's so hard to stop because it stretches the defense as far horizontally as you can and as far vertically as you can.
Yeah.
So on any play and every play, you got receivers sideline to sideline. You got guys going deep. It's going to spread out the defense. It's going to create holes in the defense. And, it's just, the scheme just spreads everybody out so much that there's going to be places for the ball to go to.
That's so dope.
Not even that, too. I mean, I don't know if people realize, but Coach Leach's his O-line splits. The biggest difference for me whenever I change programs is the O-line splits that Leach uses and utilize. They were massive. So as a quarterback, on a good day, I'm 6'2". On maybe my best day, but the splits were so big in the O-line that it was like sometimes you wouldn't even see the O-line. You could just throw, straight to like a 7-on-7.
Dang.
And I think as a quarterback, having throwing lanes like that, having defense spread out, there's always somewhere to go with the ball. And, that's basically the premise of the air raid. Also just keeping things simple. I remember asking Graham Harrell when I was out there if Leach had changed anything in the offense, changed any of the signals. And he was telling me the same signals, same plays that he ran when he was at Texas Tech, but it still works. And I think it's just because, it's just that scheme. It spreads everybody out and gives you opportunities to go with the ball on any play.
Facts, bro. That's so dope, man. So, Peyton, man, I appreciate you having me. I know you out there on that East Coast time, man. I cannot wait for the Peyton Bender interview, man. We're going to have to set that up real soon, man. The second most interesting man in Pullman, that was PB for sure, man. They don't even know, man. So, Peyton, I'm going to let you get going, bro. I appreciate you, brother, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, appreciate you having me on.
Yes, sir. Hey, there you go. Hey, man, this is a special guest, man. Somebody I consider a brother to me, like my mama's son, an absolute legend in the Crimson and Gray. Current Saskatchewan Rough Rider running back, Jamal Morrow. Molly Maw. What's the deal, man? How you doing?
I'm great, man. I appreciate you having me on the show, man. I'm happy. Football Saturday last year, man. I'm ready.
Yeah. Hey, man, Cougar Football Saturday. I see that you out there. I know you down there in L.A.
Hey, I'm in Hollywood right now. Hey, come on.
Hey, that man in Hollywood, man. So, J-Mo, first and foremost, bro, you my brother. So I got to start off with some Saskatchewan Rough Rider, man. Congrats on the contract, man. Top 5 paid running back in the league now, man. So what made you ultimately sign back with Saskatchewan, man, and want to stay in the CFL?
Man, I mean, honestly, bro, when I remember down it feels like home. It reminds me of Pullman. And so I was like, they wanted to back. And I didn't feel like going anywhere else. I just felt like, being a fan, that's what I do. Like, that's what goes on. So I'm like,
absolutely.
We gotta stay, bro.
Amen, bro. I appreciate that, man. For real, I know you're gonna have an awesome season with them guys over there. It's they was feeding you so much, man. You was on your way, man, until that unfortunate injury, man. But I know you're gonna be back in that green and white and balling out. So, bro, let's get straight to it because I know you got to get out of here to get to your tailgating and cool gating and all that, right? So, bro, heavy week this week. Obviously, our coach, man, Coach Leach passed away, man. When you heard about it, what were your first thoughts and emotions towards it, right? What was your first thoughts and emotions towards it?
I mean, it was crazy. You get the news from the day that, how critical this is. Your prayers out, praying for the family, and get the news the next day. It's tough, man. It was with Coach Leach, you gotta kind of take back. He was, think about all the times that we had.
Yeah.
And the positive things that he shoot. That's how we met.
Yep.
It was Coach Leach. So a lot of that I'm thankful for him.
Absolutely.
Back, you know, great times, and the people that I've came in contact with because of it. I always impact football in the long run. It's something I'll always cherish, and
absolutely.
he's always gonna forever live, you know, because what he's done to the game, and when he comes in contact with people, how he impacts their lives.
Man, you're absolutely right, Maul. And like, you know, I just feel like you're right, man. We would have never met each other if it wasn't for Leach, right? Being able to be down there in the Palouse, right, grinding in those summers, you know, winter workouts, right, really truly blend together and trying to, you know, do something, you know, special that hadn't been done in the Palouse in a long time, which we've accomplished, man. So I'm right there with you, man. So now, brother, I was wondering if you had any interesting story or memory about Leach you could share, you know, to the public right now. Any interesting stories, any interesting memories you have, or anything you could share about our old Pirate?
Man, good old Pirate, man. I mean, I'll never forget. Do you remember when we went to the New Mexico Bowl?
Yeah.
And we know who was winning in the fourth quarter, and we ended up losing.
Yep, I remember that vividly.
Hey, in the locker room. What do you say? Hey, y'all.
He sure did. He sure did. Man. Hey, I couldn't believe he did that.
Hey, he made everybody look themselves in the mirror. And we walked around inside the locker room.
Bro, I never felt so humiliated in my life. I felt like a loser looking at myself in the mirror. I couldn't help but laugh.
But it was funny because I didn't play. I'm looking at my coach and everybody stand line.
Absolutely, man. That was funny. Molly Maul, there you have it, folks, man. WSU great. WSU great. Appreciate you, Maul. I appreciate everybody that subscribes to the Leisure Time Podcast, too, by the way. That's going to be below, right? Make sure you subscribe to that. Follow our Instagram at the Leisure Time Podcast and follow our Twitter at Podcast Leisure. Once again, man, shout out to Coach Leach, man. Man, it was a tough week for all of us, right? But, Coach, you're always going to be within us, right? I appreciate all the lessons and things you taught me as a player. I'm going to keep with them a long way into my manhood. And I just truly appreciate you, Coach, and thank you for everything. There you have it, folks. We out. Peace.